So this video is all about how to go from 0 to 10k per month as a tutor. Hi, I'm Mohammed Al-Baki. I run a 6-figure education business. All we do is teach A-level physics. And this video is all about how to do the same in less than 90 days. Right, it's going to consist of 3 big steps, and it's only 3 steps. So the first step is choosing your niche, right? And choosing your offer. So you might be a teacher right now, you might be a student. You want to figure out what kind of tutor do you want to be. Maybe you're specializing in physics, maybe you're specializing in maths, or whichever subject. The main thing is you choose a subject that has a bit of popularity. It's not super niche, but also you can be an expert in this subject. Now, with that comes with what can you offer a parent that makes it so irresistible for clients to say, yes, I want to sign up. Because it's not enough to just say, I'm a physics tutor, I'm a maths tutor, I'm an engineering tutor, or I help you with your university applications or whichever, right? You want to have an offer that makes it irresistible. So for example, you can say, I'll help you pass this exam, I'll help you get this result, or I'll help you, achieve this grade. So with the offer comes with the time frame. So I'll help you achieve this result in this particular time. And then if you want, you can have a guarantee, right? Which is, if we don't achieve this result in this particular time, this is what I'll do. Right, so sometimes you might say, I'll give you your money back, or you might say, I will, work for free. Just depends on the guarantee you feel comfortable placing. So the first step is all about your niche and your offer. It's all about what subject you can choose and what can you offer a parent so they find it so hard to say no. You want to make it very clear what you're offering. So the language that you use, they understand that language, and it gets them, to react. Okay? So that's the first portion. The second part is attention. So you have what you're offering, but nobody knows yet what you're offering. The second part is all about attention. So there's 2 types of attention. There's organic and then there's paid. So organic is all about TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, right? Anything that you don't have to pay per click or pay per view counts as organic. Right, so that might be, cold DMs, that might be posting on TikTok, that might be running live streams, webinars. Right now, nobody knows who you are. So you need to figure out what's the best way that you feel comfortable so that people can start knowing about you. So some people like going on live stream. There is a few famous examples of people just solving maths problems on TikTok. And through that, because people start to know them, they start getting clients and people pay them a lot of money. So your big job is, how do I get people to know me and to like me? So there's a few ways you can do that. Of course, we already spoke about organic, but one of the biggest ways is cold DMs, right? Finding your group of clients that will work with you and reaching out to them, telling them about your offer. Another way is running webinars or live streams or posting on LinkedIn. And those people that are on LinkedIn tend to be, driven, wanting to make a decision. They know the value of your service. So LinkedIn is always a good place to be. And then the second part of attention is paid. So you can pay Facebook and Instagram to run some ads for you. Now, the tricky part with paid is you don't want to test too much with paid. You don't want to figure out your offer. You don't want to figure out if you're a good salesperson or if you're charging too much. You want to test with organic. So you want to see if people are actually liking you, if people actually want to work with you, at what price points are people working with you, so that when you pay, you have a system that you can just churn out cash. So paid usually comes after. Organic is usually before. So the second portion is attention, right? You want to get as much attention on you as possible. So the organic is a bit of a longer term play, right? So whilst you're building your Instagram, whilst you're building your TikTok, your LinkedIn profile, it's not like an instant, today someone's going to find you and click. It's usually a longer pipeline, right? It's a longer lead time. So people might find you, they might find you again, they might see your posts, and then 3 posts down the line, they'll click and say, yes, I want to speak to you. Whereas with paid, it's pretty instant. The advert goes out. The advert tends to go out to people who are ready to make a decision, right? And people who are in the most pain. So that's why ads work really well. And that's why Facebook and Google are like the most profitable businesses in the history of mankind, right? Because the ads work that well. The only way Facebook and Google ever make money is running ads. So people like me, people like other businesses pay them lots of money every month because of their job, and their job is, they do it so well. So Facebook ads and Google ads do work, but you don't want to be there testing. You don't want to spend £100 and then figure out, actually, I'm too expensive. So yeah, so second part is attention. The third part is closing. So once people start speaking to you, you want to start converting them and getting them onto your program. right? So getting them on a call, getting them on a WhatsApp message and speaking to them about your program. Start being obsessed with sales, because the better salesperson you are, the higher you can charge with them saying yes. If you're not a great salesperson, it means that you have to charge a lot less, which makes it quite difficult for you to grow your business. So sales is a very integral part to running a tuition business, right? Now look, if you've run a tuition business and everyone you speak to buys from you, that may be because you're running on word of mouth. Now, word of mouth is basically 99% close rate, because before they've even jumped on a call with you or texted you, they want to work with you. They know your price. They've been recommended to you by a family friend or somebody that they trust, and they're texting you to see if you're available to help. So from word of mouth, you might think that you're a super salesperson and you can close anyone that speaks to you. We meet a lot of people that think that they're the best salesperson in the world, right? Everyone that they speak to, they can close. But when they speak to somebody that doesn't know them, all of a sudden they're not buying, right? Because they're relying on word of mouth so much that they don't know anything about sales or, the sales process or pain points or, closing them. So the third portion of running a successful, 10K a month tuition business is sales, right? So when clients speak to you, they can pay there and then, right? And pay you a price that feels valuable, that feels worthy of your time. Because of course, if you charge £10 an hour, who cares if you're a great salesperson? As long as you're a good teacher, you charge £10 an hour, you're going to be the cheapest in town. But you want to be charging £70 an hour, £80 an hour, £100 an hour, or even like £1,000 a month. And the sales is what's going to make the difference between how much you charge and how many people sign up. So the first job, remember, is figuring out what your niche is. Of course, you have the offer. Maybe you're a math teacher, maybe you're an engineering student, maybe you're an English teacher, and then figuring out what you can offer parents so they find it so hard to say no. The second job is attention, letting people know that you're doing this. Now, if you want to be a secret tutor, you're not going to put your details out there. You're going to run like a faceless Instagram page. Those things take a lot longer time for people to trust you, right? And people like working with people, and it's you're the experts, and the logo that you've created, that's your display picture, is not the expert. This logo was made 10 minutes ago, whereas you have the 10 years of experience, right? Your face has the 10 years of experience, and people trust that more than just a business logo. Now, it does work. You can just have a logo and find clients and people will pay you, but it just takes a little longer because people need to trust you, and trust is the most important thing. Now, once you have the attention sorted, you have people knowing about you, people seeing your content, people seeing your offer, the third part is getting them on a call and speaking to them and convincing them to pay you £500 a month, £1,000 a month, or in our case, in our education business, it's £400 a month. Convincing them to pay there and then for some sort of package. Those are the three main steps. Now, I want you to take a second and think about which of those three steps are you struggling with? Do you know your offer? Do you know your niche? Look, you might be a math teacher, but maybe you don't know what you're offering, because just saying you're a tutor is not that convincing. Do enough people know about you? Are you kind of putting yourself out there and telling people that you're doing this? Do your friends and family know about this? Do your contacts know about these things, right? You want to make sure that people start knowing you and knowing you as a tutor, right? And start building this brand of you or your business as an expert tutor. And people need to start recognizing you don't want to be an Instagram page that has 3 followers and those 3 followers are family members. You want to start going out there. You want to follow people. You want to like, you want to comment. Be out there and start actually sharing your services. And the third thing is, maybe you have attention. Maybe you're getting some people watch your videos, but just converting them is the hard part. So this is when you start becoming obsessed with conversion, obsessed with sales, obsessed with getting people on calls, right? And this is a completely different skill. Now, sales, I would say, is the most important skill. The first 2 parts are pretty systemized, right? So we can create your offer quite quickly and we can start getting attention on you as a tutor. But the sales portion is where you can actually start making money, right? And this is what's really important, because I know that's what's important. That's what the video is all about. So start becoming obsessed with sales and start getting better with the sales process. So those are the 3 portions. We actually run a done for you service where we set all of those 3 things up for you. There's a link in our bio if you ever want to speak to us. Click it, jump on a call with us, and we'll show you exactly the 3 stages from our point of view and build a roadmap for you. Now look, maybe you don't want to, maybe you just want to get our ideas and use it for yourself. That's completely fine. Lots of people do that. Make sure you click the link in the bio, book in some time with us, and we'll show you exactly the roadmap for you for your next 90 days.